Welcome to a new episode of Airport Update, the third episode, but the first one where we finally have operations. Now, let me start off by apologizing for my voice. Unfortunately, I've got a cold. I've been waiting for about a week for my voice to recover, and unfortunately it hasn't gotten any better. And now I just can't wait any longer to make this episode. So that's why I sound like I do. I would also like to apologize for the slightly grainy images. Unfortunately, I still haven't gotten any proper lighting. I really need some studio lighting and I will get that, but I didn't manage to get it in time for this episode. Hopefully I will have it in place for the next episode or the episode afterwards. But anyway, let's jump straight into this episode and let's take a look at the different aircraft we have at the airport today and the different routes they are taking. A quick word to the setting today. It is, of course, the 20th of December 2017. No snow and ice today at the airport, which makes operations much easier. And it is 9 o'clock in the morning, so we are in the middle of the morning rush. We start off with the main terminal departures, and here we have the South African Airways Airbus A33200 getting ready to depart to Johannesburg. As we can see, there are still some things that need to be done before the aircraft can leave. It is currently being refueled and the catering trucks have also already arrived on scene. Then the next aircraft we will take a look at is the Airbus A340-600 from Lufthansa, also in full preparations. Catering is already on scene and also cargo. A tug is actually also already present, although it will still take quite some time before the aircraft will leave. And this aircraft is going out to New York John F. Kennedy. Now, while the A340-600 already arrived earlier today from North America, the neighboring aircraft is only just arriving. This is an Airbus A340300 from Lufthansa, and this is just coming in from Denver. So this one is just pulling into the ramp and will then later today head out again towards Boston Logan. The next aircraft we will take a look at is also a Lufthansa, and the reason for that is because I want to make these episodes as interactive as possible. And the last episode I asked you guys whether we should have a major Lufthansa base at the airport or not, and the overwhelming majority voted yes. So that's why we will have quite a lot of Lufthansa aircraft here today. Now the next aircraft is an Airbus A330-300. And this one has already been here overnight and has then been pulled from a remote stand towards the terminal. And it has basically more or less just arrived here at this position. So that is why preparations still haven't started. But it will later then today go out towards Mumbai, India. Next to the A330, we then have a Boeing 737-800 with split scimitars from TUI Fly. This aircraft is almost ready to go. Catering truck is just leaving, pushback truck is already there, and the bus with the passengers is just about to arrive. And this aircraft is going out to Fuerteventura. Now with this aircraft, I would like to ask you the first question of this episode, where you then have the opportunity to take part in the decision making on the future of the airport. The question I would like to ask is simply, should TUI Fly increase its operations from the airport, or should it stay relatively low as it is right now? Now you can participate by simply clicking the answer that you prefer in the poll that you can find in the top right corner of the screen. It should pop up right now, but otherwise you can simply just click the little icon that is in the top right corner and then you will find the poll of today. Now opposite the main terminal we have the satellite terminal, which will be operating narrow body aircrafts only. And there's one stand which doesn't have a jet bridge, and that is the one we see right now with the 737-500 from Air Baltic. Now, very first preparations for this flight have already begun, and this aircraft is going out to Riga. Next to the Air Baltic, there's an empty stand, and there we have an arrival coming in, and that is the A32200 from Czech Airlines CSA, CSA, which is still taxiing towards the ramp. And this aircraft will of course just have a quick turnaround before it's heading back out to Prague in the Czech Republic. Next to the stand where the CSA will go in, we have the A32200 retrojet of Austrian Airlines, which earlier today has arrived from Vienna, Austria, and that's where it will head out again later today. Next to the Austrian A320, we have a Lufthansa A320 with a special 100-year Hamburg Airport livery. I really love this livery, and this aircraft is going out a bit later today towards Sofia. Next to the A320 of Lufthansa, we then have an Airbus A319-100 from British Airways. This aircraft is already being loaded, catering is also already there, and this aircraft is heading out to London Heathrow Airport in about 20 minutes. Right next to the BA, we have the retrojet of Lufthansa, the Airbus A321, and that is already in full pushback, and this aircraft is also heading to London Heathrow Airport. Right, and with that, we've basically finished all the aircraft that are at the terminal buildings. Let's take a look at some of the aircraft at the remote stands and some of the arrivals coming in. And the first aircraft we take a look at here is the Embraer ERJ 195 from Air Dolomiti. This one is just coming in from Trieste in Italy and will be heading out again later today towards Turin in Italy. And then we have a special visitor today at the airport, the MD-83 from Danish Air Transport. Now this aircraft is operating on behalf of TUI flight today, and it has just arrived from Faro in Portugal, to which it will also return after its turnaround. And then we have some remote stands with a little bit of extra equipment, where we have these jet bridges where the buses basically park up and then passengers can enter the aircraft through the jet bridges. And on the first stand here we have the KLM Boeing 737-800, and the very first preparations for this aircraft's return flight to Amsterdam have begun right now. A lot further in its preparations is the neighboring Airbus A321-200 from Lufthansa. Catering is already on scene. The luggage is just arriving and the aircraft is being refueled. Now this aircraft arrived earlier today from Düsseldorf and will now be heading out to Madrid in Spain. On the other side of the apron, we have an aircraft that is almost ready to go. This is an Airbus A320-200 from Air France in the SkyTeam livery. The catering has already left the scene. The aircraft has been refueled. The luggage is almost completely on board, and the bus with the passengers has just arrived. So this aircraft will go out very soon. On the neighboring stand, we have a lot of ground equipment getting ready for an aircraft that has just arrived. It is a DHC-8Q400 from Austrian Airlines in the Star Alliance livery, but operating on behalf of Swiss International Airlines. This aircraft has just arrived from Geneva, Switzerland, and will be heading out in about 30 minutes, 35 probably, towards Zurich in Switzerland. Right next to this stand, we then have an Airbus A340300 in the Star Alliance livery of Lufthansa waiting. This came in early in the morning as a transfer flight from Frankfurt, and this aircraft will then be pulled over to the main terminal in the afternoon, where it will go out to Tokyo in Japan. Then we have an Airbus A320-200 from Condor just taxiing down the taxiway. And this one is just coming in from Palma de Mallorca. And it will then end up here at the stand right next to the Scandinavian Airlines. And we can see that there is already a bus waiting for the passengers of this Condor. Now the Scandinavian 737-700 came in from Stockholm this morning and is now heading back out again to Stockholm. The aircraft is already ready. All the passengers are on board. The tug is already in place, but the aircraft cannot push back right now as the Dash 8Q400 from Austrian Airlines is just blocking the way at the moment. As soon as this has then entered the ramp, the Scandinavian can go out. At the cargo center, there isn't too much activity at the moment, but there is a Boeing 777-200 from Aerologic, which is a subsidiary of Lufthansa Cargo. And that leads me to my second question in this episode, and that is, which airline should have a base here for the cargo center? Should it be DHL or should it be UPS? Don't worry, both airlines will appear at the cargo center, but which one should have a base at the airport? Again, DHL or UPS, you can vote by simply clicking in the top right corner where you find the poll. Now, with no further ado, let's head out to the furthest remote stands that we have at the moment, at least, with these three aircrafts. We have one aircraft already in pushback, that is an Embraer ERJ 190 from Lufthansa Regional, and this aircraft will go out to London City Airport. The second aircraft out here is then a CRJ 900 from Adria Airways, and this aircraft is getting ready for its return flight to Ljubljana. The aircraft next to the Adria is further in its preparations. It has already been refueled. The truck, in fact, is already heading back. Right now, stuck here at the intersection, waiting for the Condor to pass. The passengers are also already on their way here in the bus, and the luggage is also already on its way. The aircraft is an Airbus A32100 from Lufthansa, which came in this morning from Berlin Tegel Airport and is now scheduled to go out to Hamburg. So there we have it, the first real episode of Airport Update with operations at the Munich City Airport. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I know some of you have been waiting for this a long time. I'm very excited about it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did so, please smash the like button. That would be very much appreciated. Of course, if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. That would be absolutely awesome. Normally my voice isn't like this. Hopefully it sounds better normally. And I hope now that you will have a good ending of the year. See you next year. Then there will be new episodes of all series, of course, also from the airport here. Don't forget to vote. This is an interactive series, so your votes are very important to me. And of course, any feedback in the comment sections below is always appreciated. And now, with no further ado, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.